Namaste. This is Maya Tiwari with another episode of Women's Power to Heal, Mother Earth. Today we will talk about the mother wound, a term that I phrased in the late 1990s when I worked with my mission at the Mother O Mission in the inner cities of New York. Healing the mother wound. From the beginning of time, women have paid the price for humanity's thriving with their blood, their tears, and their guts. With this, we recognize the supreme challenge of wounds that we naturally bear. We must bring awareness to the mother wound because this is part of the rite of passage to the Shakti power we carry within us. Shakti simply means the power force of Mother Earth. The mother wound is intimately connected to the wound of the goddess. We often blame our own physical mother for the issues that we face as women through the mother wound. But she was only a carrier of such wounds. She was only a link from the endless, infinite maternal lineage that take us back to the umbilical cord of the goddess herself. When we women stray from the principles of love, nourishment, and truth, we manifest the mother wound. Mind you, it is there. We may not manifest it when we are in our confidence and in our stride. We need to understand it as almost a natural part of our journey. It is an organic part of our journey, even though we don't believe wounds are natural. But they are. Mother Nature is replete with violence, not only the violence that come upon her through mental and economic and financially profiteering ignorance, but the violence that comes through the process of change and transformation which she must go through. As women, we mirror Mother Earth. And due to the deterioration of this maternal memory, we have been rife with conflicts amongst ourselves as women. And this is where we must first start to heal the mother wound. No therapist, although they're helpful, no elder, although they're even more helpful, can help us to heal the wound until we embrace each other as women. I know this from many varied, multi-layered levels of my own experience through working not only with aggrieved and abused women in my mission, Mother O Mission, MOM for short, but also teaching and helping other women to heal from devastating diseases throughout the world through the Wise Earth School of Ayurveda. We are rife with conflicts, the relationship between mother and daughter, between mother and her mother, between all mothers and daughters and Mother Earth. It's a wound handed down from generation to generation that accounts for the deep fragility of our feminine wholeness. Accepting that fragility helps us to understand that we were in fact born with wounds. Fostering the circle of women in infinite friendship, true friendship without competition and jealousy, is one of the most enduring things we can do as women to build our power back. Also sealing the immutable bond of love between mother and daughter, respect, love, reverence, is so necessary for the feminine dysfunction, such as reproductive disorders, insecurity, pain, angst, low self-esteem, disenchantment, inherited through centuries and centuries of negative habituations via the vehicle of the mother wound. Now, mind you, men also carry the mother wound, but today I choose to speak to women, to mirror my own experiences and knowledge to those women, to all of you, to all of us, so that we can begin to address this greater epidemic of the loss of our Shakti power. Since the age of 16, I had a sense that my impending womanhood was shrouded in mystery. I think most of us have had that sense. And although we may never grow to know the full extent of that deep, dark, and hallowed space, I suspected that my ability to bring forth children from my womb had been impaired, and I was right. Through my dark, bleak, and difficult 5-year odyssey of ovarian cancer while I lived in New York City, and the survival of it, I became an emissary of the warrior goddess. Not the warrior, but the warrior. Ma Durga, whichever name we call her, Tara, Durga, Gaia. Anyway, strong and focused with my work, with the nurturance and knowledge for women, on abundantly sharing the wisdom of healing, the Shakti force, with thousands and thousands of women whom I have touched and had the privilege of helping in all of my long years of service, not only with Ayurveda, but with the personal experience of my own ancestral gifts. You know, I thought that after the harsh reality of my early odyssey with ovarian cancer, that all the maternal wound would have been evicted. That was not the case. The mother wound continued to reveal itself at every major junction of change in my life's journey. The mother wound, a coined phrase of mine that dates back, as I said, to the Mother Home Mission time, when I worked ceaselessly with women who had been severely damaged from domestic abuse. At the Mother Home Mission is where I worked with them. They had been damaged in their environment where they lived. Their sense of hopelessness, agony, and reckoning became the mirror for my own ancestral grief. And the journey of my facing the mother wound and understanding it better happened in the late 1900s and 1990s. As women, we carry the mother wound that we can take for granted. The wound from Mother Nature herself. The wound from the wounds of our mother and maternal lineage. All traditions, or putting all traditions and religions aside, we women bear ties through the mother wound. That wound links us to the divine largess of Mother Earth, whom I also call the Mother Consciousness. Do you ever wonder why we are continually being tested, reformatted, to flow in harmony with Mother Consciousness? We carry our engram within our womb. The goddess is the mother consciousness, that awareness, that energy that gives life to everything. She's the archetypal goddess of the universe, covering and transcending all traditions and religions by whichever name we so relate to her. She resides within the human heart and in women, also within our womb. She nourishes that womb when we observe her lunar cycles, part of the education of the Wise Earth School. Our sacred primordial power called Shakti has imbued us all with the extraordinary gift to process pain and anguish and transform them into wellness and joy. In fact, it is the most primeval, the most grand and phenomenal gift given to each and every woman, because we have the power to transform pain and hurt and anguish and violence. But we've lost that power, or at least we have forgotten that power because of the structures of society and cultural power struggles and all of the likes. The feminine anatomy is continually being replenished by the vibrant expressions of Mother Nature herself. It's just that it is so subtle that we're almost not aware of it. We are aware, though, of our hurts and our pain, and therefore we can go further and say, I am aware that I carry a mother wound. Once we do that, we'll be able to package every pain, every hurt, every grief into that largess of the mother womb, the mother wound. Most of us carry it in our womb. And we will begin to not just express what comes from the mother wound, but to be the observer and witness of what we are expressing. I will talk more about some of the wonderful sadhana practices we can do to heal the mother wound, because once we do, generations behind us heal. The ancestors, even though are disembodied, are still spirit that heals, can heal, and do need that from us. And more importantly for all of us going forward, our daughters, our generations to come, of women, of girls, babies and girls and women. We need to carry that forward to heal the generations into the future. Because we have carried the mother wound in all of its glory for so long, and it is inherited through the bloodlines to our daughters. We need to, and to some extent our sons as well. So we need to begin to heal this wound, and this is a perfect time in the year 2020 to pay attention to all of the signals we have had for centuries. Although our Shakti energy has been depleted, it's been most of all denigrated through history. Every culture has denigrated the exquisite Shakti force of the woman from fear, from a lack of knowledge of what it is, and those who had some inkling of what knowledge it was that were in the power structure feared it, and so it had been marginalized for endless eons. Time now to claim it back. As we stand at the greatest crossroads of consciousness, here and now in the year of the coronavirus, let us take the trenchant message from our Mother. Reclaim your primordial feminine force. Reclaim your Shakti energy. Understand what the mother wound is about. And let us take advantage of this cosmic juncture of pain that she has created for us, so that we can once and for all reconcile that wound. So much is happening, and you're hearing it from almost every source, including the conventional sources. They may not use the same terminology, but they understand that the time of awakening on earth has begun. The Shakti force is once again at the forefront of our reality. Women are naturally meant to be there, leading. Leading just means carrying the staff of all that had been divinely ordained for us to do and be. This energy is more than the power to procreate or give life to children. The Shakti energy, which will become more and more glorious as we begin to heal the mother wound, is an immutable force that nourishes, nurture, and heal all of the earth and everything on it. That is the power we bear. We bear the wound and we bear the power. The power comes from healing the wound. When we begin to walk as goddesses, whom we are, we become the co-creators with the great Mother Nature. The same shrine of gifts that were born from the mother womb are now ours to use to create nurturance and healing. Nurturance and healing is never for just the self. Nothing in nature lives for itself, and we've heard this before. As we look at the present conditions around us and begin to reflect on the past, we can see that there is something amiss. We can see and feel and sense the infinite number of obstacles, barriers, and burdens that we carry. Sometimes it feels like we're carrying the mountains on our backs instead of just climbing it. Almost always these radical junctures of change as we are living in now brings us back into an understanding, of course, after a period of baptismal process that manifests so much suffering. But understand that as well to be part of the mother wound. The priceless lesson that we can gain can show us how far we have come from the internal journey of our own powerful selves. I tell many stories in my various books. In Women's Power to Heal, I talk about the rawness of going through death a couple of times and coming out of that tunnel of angst and anguish and suffering. Understand this. Your maternal ancestors are waiting for you to begin to address the mother wound, because they too need your help to heal. And once they heal you as well. The goddess is there, now totally and completely focused on us women, waiting to rescue us, those of us who understand we've got to passage our way through the mother wound. It's not that huge a thing to do once we begin to understand it. Her Shakti is not just the ability to be poised and beautiful and strong and dance and drum and do yoga. At the very core, her primeval energy imbues us with the power to survive and thrive over the fiercest of brutalities and violence. Look at your wounds. They are not fearful scars, but the cosmic award that earn you your power as a woman. Thank you. Peace be your journey. And in the healing of the mother wound, part 2, we'll be talking about some of the wonderful practices that we can do, simple practices. Nothing extraordinary, nothing we can't all do, regardless of our time constraints. Be well, peace be your journey. Much love.